Audio Jungle.
Welcome to Channel 5 News. We are your TV anchor hosts. I'm Terry Liu.
I'm Vinny. Today, we're going to be talking about the space race that America is currently involved in against the Soviet Union.
Today we have a very special guest here with us, Political Commissar Vladimir, a representative of the Soviet Union. Again, Vladimir, very nice to meet you.
Likewise.
So how do you think the Soviet Union is going to win the space race against the US? We are winning. Kennedy is in the process of putting a man in the moon. We understand that Yuri Gagarin orbited the Earth, but do you think that your government can really top that?
Very funny. But as you can see, the Soviet Union has clearly been beating your country, despite you saying that it is, defeating us. For example, we have beaten you twice in space achievement. First object in space, and first man in space. Also, your country begins to be claiming that you are on the process of putting a man on the moon. This may be true, but our country could be on the process of exoplanetary colonization, or as you capitalists will call it, landing a man on a planet.
That's very well thought out. Now, as of today, we have landed 2 astronauts to the moon, Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong. How do they compare to Yuri Gagarin?
This is a very big accomplishment for your country, seeing as how it is 10 years behind. For Yuri Gagarin was going in untested land, in untested frontier. He had no idea what was going to happen. Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong, all your scientists, they receive data from my country to use it in theirs. We have risked much for your country. And besides, the moon landing is nothing more but an extension. This space race, it is all nothing but an extension of the arms race. A nuclear bomb is nothing but a rocket with a warhead attached to it. Seeing as how the farthest it goes, the country with the farthest rocket wins. This is all it is.
Wow, that was very nice. Now, it's very nice having you here today. That's all the questions that I have. That was Political Commissar Vladimir of the Soviet Union. We will be right back after these commercials.
Wants old, crummy, non-pristine condition black and white TVs when you can get Killer TV? Yeah!
To get your brand new color TV just for easy payments of $49.99, call 1-800 not a real number. And maybe you will never know non-satisfied. We're not responsible for any house fires, laziness, breakups, and loneliness.
Welcome back to Channel 5 News.
I will be interviewing a special guest today. His name is Colonel Sanders. You look fantastic.
Thank you. Actually, I brought you this present from the Vietnam War.
It looks amazing. Alright. So, I understand that you fought in the Korean and Vietnam during the Cold War. How was that?
You are right. It was bloody. I was so scared. I ran the whole time. Actually, I feel like I should film a movie called Forrest Gump.
That's very interesting, you know. I'll probably watch that movie when we make it. My next question is that, what do you think about President Nixon?
Let me tell you, Nixon is a very bad president. All of the Watergate's scandals were traced back to him. I fought in the both wars, and I came back to a president like this. Can't happen.
Alright, thank you so much.
I hope you enjoy my present.
I do, thank you. Alright, so that was Colonel Sanders of the U.S. Army, and now we'll be going to James Lai for an exclusive moon landing.
Alright, we are back. Thank you, Terry and Vinny, for those excellent interviews. Right now, we are going to be showing you actual footage of the moon landing. The 2 brave astronauts you're about to see are Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin. To the footage.
I'm going to step off the limb. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Put out to the side, cut a little bit.
Wow, that was just amazing. That was actual history in the making. Now, Terry and I, we actually have a NASA representative in this building. Corey in the house.
How you doing? I'm all right.
So how are you doing, Professor in the house?
I'm doing all right.
That's very good. Now I hear you're from NASA. Can you tell us a little bit about like how NASA was exactly founded and how the space program came to be?
Well, NASA's history starts in, I believe, 1946, when the NACA, or National Advisory Committee for the Aeronautics, started experimenting with rockets. The intention of NASA was for peace only, but in 1957, when Sputnik was launched by the Soviets, the Sputnik crisis happened, that the government rushed to increase their space program and to beat them at everything, which of course started the space race. Now, to combat this, Dwight D. Eisenhower in 1958 changed NACA to the National Aeronautics Space Administration, founded in 1958.
Thank you for that answer. That was very interesting, Professor. My partner James also has some questions to ask you as well.
So Professor in the house, I heard JFK fueled the moon landing. How did he specifically do that?
Well, that's an interesting question. You see, it all happened in 1961 when President Kennedy announced that we would land a man on the moon by the end of the decade. This was a direct result of the Sputnik launch in 1957 and the crippling blow to the United States pride when Yuri Gagarin was the first man in space to orbit the Earth. The first man in space, which happened a few weeks earlier before he made that speech, only made a suborbital travel, which wasn't really that impressive. So as you can see, Kennedy wanted to go into an untested frontier and to prove that he could make up for the failure of the Bay of the Pigs invasion. And this, of course, led to the funding of the NASA Apollo program, which, as you can see today, was a complete success.
All right, very interesting. Professor in the house.
Now, me and Vinny, in a past segment of this show, we talked about briefly the space race. What is your opinion on the Cold War and the whole space race thing? I mean, what is your stance, Professor?
Well, as you can see, what the Cold War is just it's more of a competition between the Soviet Union and the United States. The space race is just an extension of that. What we're trying to do is seeing who can make the biggest, fastest, baddest rocket ever, right? Now, this can be seen in every single program. I mean, why else would we have been rushing these past 7 years to make a rocket that can reach the moon when, we have no reason to go there? I think that the Cold War is just another example of how countries are just trying to show off their bravado to each other, and in the end, it just achieves nothing.
That's very nice. I agree wholeheartedly, Mr. In the House. Now, we at Channel 5 Heroes really appreciate what you're doing for our country, as well as for the citizens of our country. So we have a little present for you. Ivy, can you bring it in? What we have here is a poodle. He's actually a Maltese. Look at him. He's cute.
So tender.
Today we. Today.
Oh my god.
In and out, Terry. In and out. Oh god.
Take a photo.
like that. Just do that and start.
Crummy and shitty. I'm just kidding.
Nixon is a terrible president. No, I'm just...
So.
Oh shit! We're shaking hands? Okay, we're shaking hands. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, send it.
So how are you doing, Professor in the House?
I helped you. Just look back on yourself and I'll just go think, wow, I didn't even know what this word was.
What word? This is a recording.
Alright, let's go.
Are you having serious? Okay, I'm gonna just go. Okay.
Very interesting, Aditya. Very interesting, Mr.
God damn it, James.
Ready?
Yeah, go.
That's very nice, Aditya. I
Terry.
fully wholeheartedly.
Terry. My name's Corey.
I never thought I would mess up on that.
You know what I should do? If you didn't delete all those, I would have done like how many times you messed up on Aditya.
We can just make that right now.
Ding, ding, ding.
Hey, like CinemaSins?
Huh?
Like CinemaSins?
Yeah. It's like ding, ding, ding,
Alright,
ding.
get ready.
So tender.